Jerusalem is a city divided like no other. And now that split comes shrouded in rubble, echoing to anger and destruction. This is a story framed by history and religion, shaped by mistrust and coloured by sadness. It's a story of Israelis and Palestinians in a place called Silwan.
There are no words to describe what's going on in this country. It's just sad, terrifying, outrageous.
What we are witnessing in Silwan, large-scale displacement, large-scale demolitions, is Israel going places that we never dared go in the past. I have no alternative but to use the word ethnic cleansing.
A lot of people around here look at that, they see Silwan. What do you see?
I see a Zionist dream unfolding.
If you're asking me personally, we're not demolishing at the speed that we should. We need to tear down every building that is illegal and to build something nice.
This is Silwan in East Jerusalem. It's a tight-knit neighbourhood of narrow alleys and close friendships, where neighbours all know each other. And where, so we're told, when a family finds a home they like, they tend to stay for decades. Some say centuries.
This is our home, honestly.
Fakhri seems to know everyone around Silwan, home to tens of thousands of Palestinians and a small growing community of Israeli settlers. He's lived here since he was born 64 years ago. His children and his grandchildren lived with him. But 2 years ago, the city council sent a bulldozer, protected by a squad of police officers, to demolish his home, insisting it had no planning permission. Fakhri was left with a pile of rubble. His family had to move away. His wife and he were left behind, traumatised. This is 2 years you've been looking at your house and it's destroyed.
They not just destroyed my house, destroyed my family, destroyed my past, my history, and my future for my children and grandchildren.
Fakhri and his wife now live in a mobile home on the site. The municipality says that one day it will come back to demolish this too. Fakhri has installed security cameras so the couple can see when a bulldozer is arriving to knock down their home. Outside, they have bags packed for the moment they have to flee. Where will you go when that day comes?
I will be in the street. I have nowhere to go. I will be homeless, me and my wife. And I don't know. Maybe I sleep in my car. I have a car. Me and my wife maybe sleep in the car. I don't know. I have no place to go, nowhere to go.
This area is now dotted with vacant, rubble-strewn sites where houses have been torn down, even though people were still living there. This is a vivid touchstone to the roiling tensions between Israelis and Palestinians, where history and mistrust always survive the ruins. The Jerusalem municipality says that houses like Fakhri's don't have planning permission, even if they've been here for decades. Many have been knocked down, more will follow. What's happening here is a reflection of the tension and conflict that runs through this city on a daily basis. That's East Jerusalem, and according to most of the world, it's occupied Palestinian territory. But in reality, Israel annexed this whole area nearly 60 years ago and has been running it according to its own laws ever since. And here in Silwan, those tensions are being played out on the ground. Israeli authorities want to demolish dozens of homes here and replace them with a new public park. This is the plan. Now, it would see, for instance, Fakhri's house here being knocked down and turned into part of a new car park. The authorities insist that all of these buildings are illegal, that none of them have got planning permission. Palestinian residents like Fakhri tell us it's impossible for them to get planning approval. The council says this plan is all about regeneration and improvement. So, for instance, just here is a notice saying that this land will be taken and turned into part of what they're calling King's gardens, a visitor attraction that would see trees and garden and landscaping all around here. They say it's about respect for rules and treasuring heritage. Their critics say this is a fig leaf to expel Palestinian families and to extend Israeli control of this city. We're sent this, a video of another demolition that's happening. By the time we arrive, the work has finished. Well, the bulldozers have gone now. They only spent a few hours here, but you can see the complete destruction that they've caused. It looks like there's been an airstrike here or maybe an earthquake. And now these people are starting the Herculean, probably hopeless task of trying to make something out of the rubbles. But this wasn't an earthquake. What happened here was planned and it was done very deliberately. Silwan is now a place haunted by anxiety, by the sense that time is running out.
لأن أنا عشت هون أنا مش قادرة أترك هذا الحي عم بودع الحي. بطلع الحي هذا. أنا بعني لي لأنه صار بطلع ما في بلاقي يعني ما بلاقي العرب ما بلاقي جيراني الأصليين فبطلع بتأثر يعني بلاقيهم هم بيتحركوا أكتر في حركة طبعا مش كل يوم بقعد بس لما أحس حالي إني اتضايقت أنا من جوا يعني بدخل على بيتي بحس إنه هذا يمكن بكرة أو بعده أو بعد شهر يكون مش إلي هذا البيت يمكن هم ياخدوه أنا بالهوية عنواني سلوان لما ياخدوا بيتي وين عنواني وين عنواني بدي عنوان فلسطينية بدون عنوان.
So what's going on? When we talk to people here, there's a name that pops up regularly. Aryeh King, the Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem, the man widely held responsible for leading this demolition plan. He rarely speaks to the British media, but he did agree to meet us, and he was unapologetic and forthright about Silwan's future, where he wants to build a park that harks back to the days of King David 3,000 years ago. What's your vision? What do you think the whole area of Silwan should look like in 20 years' time?
My vision is that it will be like a kind of a artist neighborhood with an atmosphere that you can walk there, take a cup of coffee or tea, sitting on the street, like you go into the old city of in Stockholm, for example.
How is that moral, to deny homes to people who have lived there for multiple generations?
Nobody there is living for multiple generations. Nobody.
There's a man who's lived there for 40 years.
40 years is multiple generation?
Well, he's had his grandchildren there.
He said.
He says he's just following the precedent set when the Ottomans and then the British ruled Jerusalem.
From the time of the Turkish, that didn't allow anybody to build there because the Turkish understood how much this is an important area and holy place. And after that, after the Turkish, the British, the same, didn't allow anybody to build in this area for the same reason. So this Arab that you're talking about, they're lying. But you don't need to be surprised. It's okay to lie if you are a Muslim. It's part of your culture.
Muslims of East Jerusalem would find that incredibly offensive that you're generalizing that they're liars.
I'm not saying that. Read their book. It's not me saying that. Read the Quran. Read the Hadith. I'm not saying that. I'm quoting their books.
Islamic scholars broadly reject this characterization. Islamic teaching prohibits lying with only narrow, unrelated exceptions. King's plan comes at a price, and that price is often borne by the people who are losing their homes. The families who used to live here fought a long battle with the local authority, but in the end they decided it was hopeless. They knew they were beaten. And because the authority was going to charge them so much to demolish these buildings. Those families then decided to pay out of their own pocket to hire a firm to demolish their own homes. The ripples of this spread out. Watching from next door are Ayat and Mohammed.
The really sad part about it is that the part that they don't have anywhere to go. This is the sad part about it, is that they're homeless. It's sad, it's terrifying, it's scary. Also for us, our house is going to be demolished. The last court they gave us is probably November 4th, they said. But the scary part about it is they said that they might come before.
When you hear that, what does it mean to you? What does that sound mean?
لما تسمع أصوات الهد شو بتحس? It's heartbreaking for me.
الدور جاي علي.
His turn is coming.
Is it the sound of your future? I mean, is that your fear? That this is going to happen to you?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
ممكن تشرحي لي ايات؟ تعيطي؟ It's okay.
عادي.
There are no words to describe what's going on in this country. It's just sad, terrifying, outrageous, heartbreaking.
What this process is doing is creating two distinct camps. On one side are Israeli Jews and the Jerusalem Council. On the other, the Palestinians, who now find themselves under threat. And this is part of a bigger picture. Israel has occupied nearly 2/3 of Gaza and is establishing ever more settlements in the West Bank. So is this a story of ever more expansion into Palestinian territory?
This is the epicenter.
Lawyer Danny Seidemann is one of the world's leading experts on the legal and political status of Jerusalem.
What we are witnessing in Silwan, large-scale displacement, large-scale demolitions, is Israel going places that we never dared go in the past. Is the displacement of Palestinians in order to be replaced by biblically motivated settlers in order to establish the hegemony of a very specific biblical Jewish narrative which marginalizes Islam and Christianity in Jerusalem, fragments Palestinian East Jerusalem, and transforms Jerusalem into a place that is unlike anything we've witnessed in the past.
But the threat to Silwan's residents isn't just about the municipality's plans for a park. It's also about those who look to the past. Well, behind these tall, imposing walls is a synagogue, which is the last visible sign of a Yemenite Jewish community who lived here in the 1930s and then were forced to leave during violent unrest. But today there's a trust that says that because of that community, it still owns this land. It's a claim that's been largely backed by the Israeli courts, and it's opened the door for a settler organisation to try to take over many of the homes in this area. Now that is hugely controversial, especially for Palestinian families who say they have lived in this area for centuries. But the man behind it is resolute. He wants Jewish families to take over these homes, and he sees hope where others see division. A lot of people around here look at that, they see Silwan. What do you see?
I see a Zionist dream unfolding. When I look at that, I see that I'm part of correcting a historical injustice. That is not Silwan, that's Shiloach. It's Kfar HaTemanim, the Yemenite village of Shiloach. So before the world talks about Silwan, let's be historically correct and honest and ethical. That is purely a Yemenite village built from 1882 onwards. Yes, of course it became Silwan, it's referred to as Silwan today, but I live in the world of honesty and truth. Ethnic cleansing, and that today is being corrected by Jews returning home.
Zuhair Rajabi knows the battle and the history. Daniel Lurie's organisation has already threatened him with eviction several times. Many of his neighbours have already moved out. a Palestinian district, is now speckled with Israeli flags. And he says what many here echo, that the tension is getting worse and worse.
ما بعد 7/10/2023 تحول الشيء، بدأوا بأوامر إخلاءات، الهجمة الشرسة ضد المواطن، اعتبروا لأنه كل من هو فلسطيني هو إرهابي وهو يجب طرده من فلسطين وهو يجب طرده من القدس وهو يجب إبعاده عن المنطقة.
We did try repeatedly to talk to the Israeli settlers who have chosen to move in here, to ask them their motivation. Few answered. Those who did respond didn't want to talk.
Just a quick one. لما أتبوخ لغوركان. No? No? Not a word? No? لما أتبكر لغوركان?
אתה רוצה שאני אתקשר למשטרה על הטרדה? לא. אז בסדר, אז תמשיך, אני אתקשר למשטרה על הטרדה. או שתעזוב אותי וזהו.
Emotions are heightened on these streets, but could there be a middle ground, a compromise? Aria King tells me the mayor of Jerusalem offered to build alternative accommodation if Palestinians left their homes.
We as a municipality came to them willing to compromise with them. That you will not find any way, any kind of compromising like that anywhere in Jerusalem. The Arabs, instead of adopting and hugging him and adopting his idea, rejected it.
Because they want to keep their homes.
It's not their
where
own.
they live at the moment.
It's not their own. It's illegal home. It's belong to the municipality.
And that determination to stay is clear. Zuhair says he was offered the equivalent of $10 million for his home and turned it down.
المستوطنين ادعوا لأنه أنتوا طبعا قاعدين في هذه الأرض بدون علم وبدون معرفة، فإحنا من أجل ذلك معنا أوامر نخليكم من البيوت مقابل تعويض مالي. طبعا رفضنا، عرضوا علينا، أنا قلت لك بالسابق وبحكي لك، عرضوا علي أنا شخصيا تشيك مفتوح من مليون ل30 مليون، رفضت.
This is a complex situation for lots of reasons. Firstly, because for most of the world, this is occupied Palestinian territory, which means that Israel should not be demolishing homes. That, according to many nations, runs completely against international law. But the fact is that here on the ground, Israel is in complete control. And this isn't a conflict that's in a deadlock. It's quite clear that it's going in one direction. And that is the direction that Israel wants it to go.
A lot of the world, Daniel, says this is occupied territory, that Israel shouldn't even be claiming ownership of this, far less moving its people in here and displacing people already living
You're
here.
talking about the world.
I'm talking about the United Nations.
No, so we'll call that the world. The United Nations, the world, is the most hypocritical body that is also anti-Semitic, that has a disproportionate amount of resolutions against Israel when there are tragedies, nightmares, murders, annihilation all around the world, and this beautiful nation, the most ethical army in the world, there are resolutions against Israel. And when it comes to occupation, United Nations, anyone that has half a brain and doesn't act on anti-Semitic impulse understands that, first of all, the Jewish people can't be illegal occupiers of their own land.
Daniel wants to reclaim property abandoned by Jews who fled persecution many decades ago. But that's an option that Palestinians don't have. There's no mechanism for them to reclaim homes that were lost to Israeli expansion. For many, it adds to the sense of oppression. The Geneva Conventions say you cannot destroy communities in occupied territory without a military imperative. And for some that leads to a profound question about whether Palestinians are being systematically removed. Would you characterise that as ethnic cleansing?
You know, I have avoided the term ethnic cleansing for years. I try and stay away from the radioactive terms. There were 69,000 Palestinians in East Jerusalem in 1967. There are 400,000 Palestinians today. That is not a population that is being ethnically cleansed. However, when I look at what's happening in Silwan, I have no alternative but to use the word ethnic cleansing. It appears to me to be technically correct and a moral imperative to say so.
Back in Silwan, surrounded by the rubble of the house where he was born, Fakhri knows that one day, even this temporary home will be demolished. Do you have any hope at all?
Unfortunately, I have nothing. No hope, nothing, because when we are speak, every day the police come in, every day the bulldozer come in. Nobody in the world can tell Israel to be under the international law. Every time Israel above the international law, and they do what they want.
This is a city that's been carved by conflict and conquest again and again over the centuries. Once it was armies at the heart of the fight. Now it is plans, maps, bulldozers, and the haunting fear of what tomorrow may bring.